We'll start with Curt's statement.
Yeah, I'll be brief. I thought we played a really successful first half offensively. I thought we really shared the ball. Ended up with 24 assists on 29 baskets. Thought we, with intent, did a lot of good things in that first half to really put BG in some actions and make it hard for her. Dearica really led us with a really strong first half. Unfortunately, the physicality of the third quarter, the amount of fouls, our amount of turnovers, flipped it in that third quarter, and obviously was the difference in the game. Just not enough stops. They shot over 50%, made 35 baskets, but our offense, even though didn't have the second half, the second half wasn't quite like the first half, did a lot of good things throughout the game offensively. But we've got to be better defensively to come away with a win.
We'll now go to questions for the players. Rashawn, you're first. Rashawn?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Ari, earlier on, it looked like they started with Beck Allen on you, some length on you to start the game, and then you have about 6 assists in that first quarter. What were you doing against her length to be able to facilitate as well as you did in that first quarter?
Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about her length. I was just trying to, be intentional on who we wanted to get into actions. Yeah, not happy about the 4 turnovers overall, but I mean, I'll take the 10 assists as a plus.
Rashawn, did you have another question? Michael?
Hey, ladies, how you guys doing? I'm gonna start with you, Dearica. Great game tonight. With all the stuff that you guys are going through with injuries, with the help now to Lexi, with this long road trip that you guys have, as a leader of this team, how have you been able to keep, your group composed so that you guys can continue to try to improve and get better as the season goes on?
I guess I kind of haven't. I mean, next game up, like you have to have short-term memory. We know what the season is composed of, all the games in a short amount of time. But you can't, like, the time doesn't stop. You keep going. We got to regroup. We got Washington in a few days. Got to move forward.
Jared?
And then,
Michaela, did you want to follow up? Go ahead.
yeah, just for Ari, as for you, Ari, like coming out of college, like the player that you have played like this season is kind of the player that everybody expected, to be. Where is your confidence level as of right now? Is it the best that it has been in the W so far? What's your thoughts?
For sure, my confidence at an all-time high, and I credit that to my teammates and coaches for believing in me.
Thank you.
Jared?
Yeah, hi guys. And today was, it had a bunch of good things and bad things. Erica, you shot the hell out of the ball from deep. But I just wanted to get into a little bit of Lexi Brown. Obviously, we won't be getting any updates on her until after the Olympic break. But can you guys go into, and coach included, can you guys go into the impact that she's had and what's going to be missing as she deals with her situation?
Yeah, I would say coming into camp, Lexi was super confident and, she had the green light on this team. And it's unfortunate that she's battling some things that are kind of set her back a little bit. I know we miss her shooting and her ability just kind of to create plays. But we want her to recover and get healthy, most importantly.
Any more questions for the players? Jonathan?
Yeah. Hi, this is Jonathan Salfo at Big Baby Sports. Your shooting was very effective tonight. Could you share some insight into your pregame preparation that allowed you to perform so well?
Just had some confidence, and we knew we were going to be intentional about putting BG into actions, and I knew I was going to separate and pop and hit shots, and I shoot a bunch of threes in warm up, and I made them tonight.
Thanks, Dearica.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions for Curt? Michael?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, coach, just that like you talked about just the struggles with that third quarter, and there's been some games earlier this year that that's kind of been an issue as well. Um, what can you do differently, say for Tuesday possibly to get the ladies to come out inspired after having such a solid first half?
Yeah, I think it's, obviously, turnovers, while a little bit lower than our season average, still led to 17 points for them tonight. All that's focus and, the adjustments we talked about at halftime that we could see how are we going to handle. They played zone for a little bit. I thought we did okay. So overall, just having them ready when teams raise their level of play. And tonight, when Phoenix raised their level of play and got really physical and raised that level of play, we didn't match it. And that's what, our young team has to learn is that we've got to raise our level of play. We can't wait for other teams to raise their level of play, be reactionary to it, and then, fall behind or at times even separate. So I just didn't think we handled when they really stepped up tonight. That core group of theirs really stepped up and raised their level. We didn't match that.
Jared with the final question.
Hey, Coach. A couple weeks ago, you talked about how the team is still trying to build and they're learning how to play together on the court. And one of the words that you used was the team is still building standards. Now, you mentioned how the team needs to raise that level of play and just generally speaking needs to improve on that end. Can you talk about how much more impressed, I guess, or if there's anything different that you've seen from them from a standards point of view that you mentioned a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that road trip, the 9 games in 18 days, which was not necessarily this game, but many recently, there just wasn't any time to practice. So I felt really good coming into today that we had 2 days of practice coming out of the Commissioner Cup break. And I felt like you saw it in the first half. We really shared it. We're down in numbers, obviously the news with Lexi and Leja recently. I thought we did some good things, but we weren't able to sustain it. And so, our standards have got to be that we've got to play 2 complete halves. There's a very thin line between winning and losing in this league. We don't have a big margin of error, especially with everything going on right now with our roster. So, that there's no margin. And so, just trying to raise that standard, but we're growing. I think we show signs offensively. My biggest concern is that I've been very blessed and fortunate to have really good defensive teams in my 8 previous years as a head coach. And it was our calling card in Connecticut. And we found ways to win when we didn't always have great offensive nights because we were an elite defensive team. Last year, after the All-Star break, we had the #1 analytic defense in the league. We are not close to that right now. And so we have a very young team. We have a lot of players playing in this system for the first year this year, like 6 of our 9 tonight playing or in their first year with us. But we've got to raise the standard defensively. We just are not at the level that we can win games with our slippage on defense. So we're growing. Things are improving, but ultimately to get some wins, our standards have to continue to get better defensively.
Thank you, Curt.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Final votes. Thank you. Yeah.